is a massive presentation.
It's the Orioles on Masson, and it is a summer night here in Baltimore as the Oakland A's come to town to open up this three-game set against the Orioles. Against the A's this season, 0-3 for the O's. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne. The A's have beaten the Baltimore Orioles 8 times in a row. If you go back to last year, that is more than at any other time in A's franchise history. The Orioles would like to undo a little bit of that here in this series. To do so, the youngsters once again will be called on, not just by the O's, but by the A's as well. Take a look at the youth that are involved on both of these teams. Rookie starters. Look at the starts for the A's. 78, more than any other team. The O's are third. The record? Not a whole lot of difference here. ERA, there is no difference. Opponent's batting average, that too not very far apart. And it is that average age that both of these teams are counting on. Jim Palmer youth is being served pitching-wise for both of these organizations.
Well, it really is, Gary, and it's a great opportunity for both of these, not only the young staffs to see what these guys can do, but how about if you're a young pitcher? You have a chance to come to the big leagues. It's not easy, and we've seen that not only for Oakland, but especially for the Orioles in the sense that you get a great start. We saw Mattis pitch very well again in Detroit yesterday, struggled with his stuff. But at the end of the day, both of these teams have 51 games. It's going to be very interesting because the Orioles had the least amount of innings from their starters and the most from their bullpen, and in second place is Oakland, and I think it reflects it because they have so many young starters.
And the starter we'll see tonight will be Jeremy Guthrie. In fact, the elder, if you will, of the staffs that are going to be involved in this three-game set. When we come back, it's the A's and the O's from Camden Yards. Book your next trip at southwest.com. Back here at Camden Yards, it will be a hazy summer night. 93 degrees at game time. A very little breeze, if any at all, blowing as we start this ball game tonight. Let's take a look at the starting lineup that we will see from the A's. And boy, has it changed since the last time these teams played. Kennedy, Davis, and Hairston at the top. Cuss, Suzuki, Everidge at first. Sweeney, Ellis, and Pennington. Rajai Davis, red hot and doing a lot of running right now for the A's.
Take a look at our PNC scouting report. Well, safe at home. Guthrie comes in with a 7-11 record, but 4-5 with an ERA of about a run and almost a run and a half lower here at Camden Yards and on the road. Well, home run derby he does, and it's been mentioned really ad nauseum that he does lead the American League at home runs. So again, you just want to try to change that, and he's certainly capable of doing that. Just stay away from the hanging slider, and if you do throw the home runs, solos never really hurt you a whole lot.
See what happens here in this one. How these two teams with so many young players, especially pitchers involved, fare against one another. You'll see a lot of mopping of the brow as you see Guthrie out there doing that already tonight. Standing in, Kennedy will lead it off. Adam Kennedy hitting at .288 and will take the pitch for a strike. Kennedy 5 for 13 against the Orioles this season. 0-1 delivery to him, set up outside, and that's where the pitch ends up going in a 1-ball 1-strike count. Kennedy 9 home runs, 45 RBIs, 49 strikeouts to 27 walks, down to first, out in front of the changeup that time, and a 1-ball 2-strike count from Guthrie. Right now you need to keep the top of this order, Kennedy, Davis in particular, off the base paths. They have, since the All-Star break, started running a lot more, so they will put pressure on you if these leadoff batters get on, and Davis in particular waits on deck as a speedster. Fouled away, 1-2 still. Jeremy Guthrie's got an 0-1 record against the A's on the season. He is 1-2 lifetime against this ball club. He made the start back on June 5 in a 9-1 loss, his shortest of the year. In that game against Oakland, he gave up 6 runs on 7 hits in just 2/3 of an inning, and it's still the shortest of his career.
Yeah, just did not locate very well, and right here there's a good located fastball. Gets
the ground ball to Roberts, over to Wigginton, and Kennedy's retired.
Take a look at the way Jeremy holds the fastball. He throws 2 of them, 2-seamer and a 4-seamer. There's your 4-seam fastball. Yeah, there's the curveball. And that, again, we'll use all 4 seams when it comes out of your hand. Palmed to your ear. There's the slider. That's the pitch that's really hurt him this year. I might have to change that grip a little bit. And the changeup. It's kind of an okay circle changeup. It really doesn't. That's a kind of an unconventional slider grip.
That was that slider you saw right there to Davis. Rajai Davis takes the pitch outside for a ball. He had his second 2-steal game in the last 6 ball games yesterday. 20 stolen bases for the season. Down the line in right field, and that will be a foul ball and a 2-ball 1-strike count on Davis. Guthrie wants desperately to get through these early innings, especially the first one. This is the inning that has given him the most problems. First time through the order, teams hit .293 against him. It goes down from there. But those first 2 innings and the first time through. 2-1 delivery, grounded to short as Turris up.
Take a look at the Oriole defense here at Camden Yards tonight. A couple of easy outs for Jeremy Guthrie. Reimold, Jones, Markakis. Nick leading the American League. At least tied for assists out in right field. Morris, Turris, Robertson, Wigginton. Huff will get the night off tonight. And then the rookie Matt Wieters behind the plate.
One of the new names since these 2 teams last played, Scott Hairston. He is making the start. He's made 8 of the last 9 in left field. He's got a quad problem. Otherwise, he's somebody else who likes to steal bases, but he's not 100% right now. It is taken for a strike. 7 for his last 30, a .233 average, couple of doubles, a home run, and 8 RBIs in the last 9 games since he got back from the injury.
Well, he's a power guy. 17 home runs last year, and there's a good slider that just darts down and away, or maybe they had it listed as a fastball, but it reacted like a slider. Usually the 2-seam fastball that Jeremy throws will run back into the right-handers.
Hairston acquired from San Diego July 5, minor league deal. The restructuring of Oakland going on. Here's the 0-2 delivery outside, and he is a player expected to be involved with this team next year. There you see the lowest batting average in the American League, .253. It belongs to Oakland. Then you move up the ladder, KC, Texas, Detroit, and Chicago. 1-2 delivery through the middle. Is Torres up, hustles it over and will not get it. Well, even with a bad quad, got down the line on a ball not hit very hard, and that will be an infield hit for Hairston.
Yes, Torres playing him straight away, so he's got to go a long way. And if you watch Guthrie now, watch him follow through because he falls over. It's pretty routine ground ball. He just doesn't catch it. The ball goes under his glove, can't get to it by the time Torres does. It's a low throw, and you can see Hairston helping the first base umpire with the call right there, just in case he doesn't get it right.
Fairly close play.
Yeah, it really was. Supposed to go to the runner, and it appeared that that's the way they called it.
Greg Gibson, the umpire down there. So the problem with it for Guthrie is Jack Cuss gets to come up. Always dangerous. Cuss is not hitting particularly well right now. Only 200 over the last 13 games. He still has been able to score runs because he gets on with walks. He's had 17 walks in the last 13 ball games, even though he hasn't been hitting. He gets those because everybody's afraid of that home run bat.
Yeah, the on base percentage well over at 43, almost 44%. But that is the Jack Cuss that we have seen. Really, he played here briefly for the Orioles. But for him, it's a matter of, I'm going to get a pitch, I'm going to have a very authoritative swing, I'm going to go deep in the count. If you don't throw strikes, I'll go down to first, let somebody drive me in. So he's going to strike out, hit home runs, and walk a lot.
Continually, that is the basis of his career. He's 1 for 6 against Guthrie with a home run. He is second in strikeouts in the American League. At first base, Hairston, the delivery is up high, and Guthrie 2-1. And these are all those extra pitches, extra time in an inning, especially in a hot night that you have, Jim, because he didn't feel that ground ball back up the middle.
Yeah, and Hairston ran hard. You talked about the quad, had to miss some games for it, but it does come out to the pitch count. This is like the old days. I mean, this is not where you're going to throw 135 pitches or 150 pitches. The one thing about Jeremy, you would think the way he conditions himself that, I mean, these are one of those, as you mentioned, summer night, Baltimore nights where you better be in good shape.
And be efficient, huh?
Well, that would be the other side of the coin.
Yeah. Hairston gets back to the bag. Hairston, as we said, I would really be surprised if he does much running tonight, just because the quad has bothered him so much. But he is a base stealer, 8 out of 9. 2 ball, 2 strikeout. Big shift on for Cuss. The ground ball into that shift. Played at first by Wigginton, who'll take it to the bag. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. On a night like tonight, just jump right into that ice bag. Scott, Mora, Wieters, and his tourist Ty Wigginton getting a chance to play and taking advantage of it.
And our PNC scouting report on the 23-year-old left-hander out of Hialeah, Florida. 3-game win streak, first time around. he's ever faced the Orioles. And the one thing, only a couple lefties in the lineup tonight, trouble with left-handers, hitting well over 300. And as you know, Gary, that number's come down. So again, maybe that, and of course, it's funny. You were up in New York last night. Andy Pettit pitching. When he first came up, he got righties out better than lefties. And of course, now that he's in his mid to late 30s, he's adjusted to that. But this is a young kid that is tougher against right-handed batters.
A starting staff of rookies right now, and this is a 23-year-old left-hander who will make the start in this ball game. And as Jim said, his numbers are a bit skewed because his early starts where he was gathering himself were not good. Of late, much better. Brian Roberts will lead it off against him and will take the pitch for a strike. Brian comes into the day second in runs, first in doubles in the American League. Brian, after having to miss a game in Toronto, driving that ball into his shin, has got the protector on now. Dave Tremblay said, I made sure that he put that shin guard on for this game, especially facing another left-hander, because a lot of those pitches that come biting in on you as a right-hander go right down there off the bat.
Yeah, he's got the big, sharp overhand curveball, change-up, and running fastball. There's the curveball, but it kind of spins up there.
For Brian as the switch hitter, 291 right-handed, 277 left. Brian comes in with that 282 overall average. He's had only one home run from the right side. And there's the breaking ball, and he will take it inside and a 2-ball 2-strike count. Ray Fosse telling us before the game, the former catcher and A's announcer, that's the pitch right there that if you will swing at it, Gonzalez will have a great night. If you don't, it forces him to have to come in with something a little straighter. 2-2 delivery on the way, and that one goes to short. Pennington up. Roberts out, one away.
Take a look at the Oakland defense. You talked about the offense. In fact, the whole team has changed. Same with the defense. Harrison in left, Rajat Davis in center, Ryan Sweeney around in right field. Kennedy, who we knew from the American League with the Angels, a second baseman. He's now at third. Pennington the shortstop. Ellis, good glove at second base. Tommy Everidge over at first, and Kurt Suzuki always does a nice job. Good catch and throw. Guy behind the plate who's been red hot with the bat.
Nolan Reimold stands in and will take the pitch down low for a ball. For Reimold, the post All-Star break been a pretty good one for him. Delivery on the way to right center field, not very deep, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Reimold's on with a single with one away, and let's check in with Amber.
Well, Gary, as you mentioned, it's 93 degrees at game time, but on the field it feels much hotter. I spoke to Ernie Tyler. We all know Ernie. He's been around Memorial Stadium and also here at Camden Yards for 49 years as the Orioles umpire's assistant. He told me he has a very scientific method of figuring out just how hot it is on the field. He says, I take whatever the temperature is and I just add 10 degrees. And I asked some of the players and they said about 103 feels exactly right. Now, when I spoke to John T-Bone Shelby about the weather, he said this is exactly the way hitters like to have the weather, because with this dense air, there's the potential for balls to fly out of the park. And right now, the Orioles are in the middle of a 37-inning home run drought, so tonight's a chance for them to end it, Gary.
They sure hope that becomes part of a ground ball to first and a check swing. There's the out recorded. Now, the shortstop Pennington wasn't sure, apparently, whether or not the first baseman Everidge had gone to the bag, because he put a tag on just to make sure on the run coming, and is kind of smiling now because he really wasn't close at first.
Yeah, that's really a smart play, because you never assume anything. And right now he's looking over to see, well, did you really tag him? Because if you did, it's a double play. So it's a heads-up play by their shortstop, and they get the one out.
Here's our freeze cam, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Markakis, upright stand, Jim?
Oh, yeah. Well, he's made a change. Of course, I haven't done a game in about 2 weeks, and I noticed, and I asked Terry Crowley, I said, what did he do? He said, well, he was having underneath balls, wasn't driving the ball. So here's a .299 lifetime hitter. He makes some changes.
This time he pops it up to third. On the first pitch, Markakis retired. Kennedy there to get it. And that will do it. No runs on one hit with a base runner left on after one. No score. summer night. Sit up there in your folding chair on top of the bullpen roof. Pitch is taken outside. Kurt Suzuki, who does the catching and lots of it. Suzuki's 3 for 4 with a home run lifetime against Guthrie. He's coming in with a pretty good 6-game streak. Takes that one to center field. Jones has it lined up.
Well, that's what T-Bone Shelby was talking about, John, saying the ball carries. It looked like a routine sky out to center. It just kept going.
They're keeping an eye on that tonight, the hitter's eye. Because, boy, it certainly is warm enough to send some balls out of here. Here's another one of the new names in the lineup. This is Tommy Everidge, who's come on to play at first base. It is his 12th start there. Giambi, of course, was released as the Oakland A's paid $1.25 million to buy out the contract of Giambi. Giambi's agent saying that Giambi is perfectly healthy and wants to play some more. Has not been picked up by anybody.
Of course, he was hitting 193, and the 32 home runs that he hit last year for the Yankees, with an average a little bit under 250, just couldn't put up those kind of numbers.
Yep.
Not to mention what they paid him $4 million plus $1.5 million or whatever to buy out that contract you talked about.
That is going to be in foul territory and too far away for anybody to get. Look at the names who have said goodbye from the A's. Giambi, Cabrera, Blanton, Houston Street, Gaudin, who just showed up last night in New York and pitched. It's a lot of people who have left since 2008.
And the reason they went out and gotten Holiday and Giambi and Cabrera is because they were last in the American League in offense last year. So at least, I guess in theory, what you were trying to do was generate more offense. Holiday, they paid him what, $9 million for 94 games, and then have to pay part of the salary now that he's in St. Louis. Most people thought he was going to end up there anyway.
It's amazing. You listen to some of these contracts. Tommy Everidge will get his chance as a result. He's played in the minor leagues 5 full seasons and part of this year. Guthrie's pitch is inside. He is out of Sonoma Valley High School in California. He went to Sonoma State University and put up home runs. He had 22 at AA ball last year, 26 A ball the year before. 3-2 delivery, foul back, and a 3-ball, 2-strike count.
Yeah, Bob Guerin, the manager of the A's, was saying it was pretty simple. We sent him to AA again this year. He was hitting over 300. He went to AAA, hit 382 with some home runs. And Giambi got hurt. At least he was initially hurt. And then, of course, they would release him when he would get well. And he said all of a sudden we call him up and he has hit very well. And for power.
3-2 the other way. And that's the other thing he does really well, is take the ball the other way, according to the A's coaches. And for power, that time he just punched that one into right field. There's the second hit off Guthrie. It comes with one away here in the second inning.
Take a look at Jeremy Guthrie and the delivery, and so you can see a lot of effort. Well, this is an awfully good approach, and you could see that he extend through the ball. Did he ever? And that's the only way you hit pretty good pitches, if you go with them.
Now Ryan Sweeney will stand in. He homered for the second time in 3 games yesterday. Sweeney saying that he's going to be more aggressive at the plate. He said, I've got more power. I haven't used enough of it. And I'm just going to go up and I'm going to swing a little harder. And I'm going to try and drive the ball a little harder. And he's hit a couple of home runs in 3 games.
Hadn't hit a home run in 32 games. He ought to have thought of that a little earlier, don't you think?
Well, it's never too late. You're on a building team, you know. It's what you do at the end with a team like Oakland that makes the difference.
Well, you know, I always talk about it as far as golf. You never think about a hole in one until you have one, and then you figure, you know what, I'm going to get some more of those. Same thing with home runs.
Looks good on the scorecard.
Does it ever?
That's going to be inside by Guthrie. We're talking about Guthrie struggling early. The other number that jumps out at you, he leads in home runs surrendered with 27. 13 of those have come the first time through the order. 2-2 delivery. That is foul back. And that's really backwards to what you would expect. You'd expect hitters would need to see him once or twice and then give up the long ball. But that's not the way he's been.
Well, I think he doesn't realize that his stuff is better than he probably thinks it is. And I think for that, he thinks he has to pitch to all 4 quadrants, has to do it right away.
That one towards the corner is going to take a hop, heading over to third base. Everidge. Here's the throw to second, off the mark, all the way to third. Melvin Mora able to knock it down. And that is going to be a double for Sweeney. Sweeney a two-bagger, and the A's have runners at second and third with one away.
So when you use all your pitches, what happens is, and right here it looks like Markakis is going to have a real good chance to throw him out. Makes a great play off the wall. And then the throw just going all the way to third. Melvin Mora will cut it off before it gets into foul territory.
And fortunate Melvin did, because Guthrie was halfway between home and third, and there was nobody backing up third base. The pitch is taken inside by one of the veterans. Here is Mark Ellis. Well, RBI chance.
Yeah, in fairness to Guthrie, Jeremy, what you try to do is get between third and second, and you don't know where the play is going to be. And it turned out right there, he probably would have caught it.
That is going to be a slider away. Ellis 313 with runners in scoring position. This is something this ball club does a pretty good job of, and that's getting people in when they get them on. 2-0 count, especially when there are two outs. Only one here, and that one is fouled back in a 2-ball 1-strike count. So Guthrie in trouble here in the second inning, and Ellis, contact hitter.
Yeah, and a high ball hitter. I mean, loves the ball up in the zone. And it's tough to pitch down when you're behind 2-1.
Good pitch on the outside corner.
And that's my pretty much theory. I think if Jeremy could command down and away early in the ball game, see how the hitters react to his stuff, then it gives you a guideline how you want to pitch. But I think a lot of times he gets a little bit caught up in the scouting reports. I'm going to do this, that, and whatever. You don't always have to do that. And then he hangs a slider there and gets away with it.
Ellis tried to jump all over that and couldn't get to it. Ellis here in this against the Orioles, a .239 hitter. Here in Baltimore, he's had 4 home runs at Camden Yards in this ballpark. Right now what he wants is a base hit. Outfield straight away on him.
He'll take a deep fly ball.
Yep. And foul tip just enough to keep the at-bat alive. Ellis was injured and did not play the first time these two ball clubs met. And it's his first chance against the Orioles. As we said, this ball club has won 8 consecutive games going back to last year against the O's. And they come in here playing some pretty good ball. 2-2.
They played 25 games since the All-Star break, and I had a chance to watch them. They beat Texas 3 out of 4. They went to Kansas City over the weekend, won 2 out of 3 there.
Bob Guerin, having to check the pictures in the guide to see who he's playing with out there in the field. They've shuffled some folks. 2-2 delivery on the way. Ellis again.
See, right there they try to go up and in. Matt Weeder slides in and he misses by about 2.5 feet, but once away, his stuff's good enough to get away with it. But the ball was up out over the plate, and that's what a 2-strike count will do to Mark Ellis. He'll make him expand.
Everidge at third, Sweeney at second. 1 down. 2-2. And that's going to be a base hit up the middle. That'll score Everidge. Sweeney's going to be held. Jones will get it into the cutoff man. And an RBI single for Ellis, and a 1-0 lead for the A's. And a good piece of hitting right there.
Yeah, another slider, this time a little bit better. And you're right about Mark Ellis. And what do you do with 2 strikes? You take a good vantage point right here. He just goes out and pokes it into center field. And again, they respect the ability of Adam Jones.
32 RBIs for Ellis. Runners now at first and third with only 1 away. And Pennington coming to the plate. Cliff Pennington is another new name. He's making his 11th start at shortstop. Crosby has lost that job. There's the look and no throw made the other way. Pennington is another player of today and for tomorrow for this ball club. First major league home run last Wednesday against Vicente Padilla, since released by Texas. Swung out and missed for a strike. He played at AAA, called up July 31st. Hit .264, 3 homers, 40 RBIs in Sacramento.
Yeah, Padilla, I watched him the other night. He did not pitch well, but he was throwing 96 to 97 miles per hour, and they let him go.
Swung on and missed. There's been some kind of tension with Padilla in Texas all year. Not sure what it is, but.
Well, yeah, I think what it is, I mean, 3 years ago, he said, I don't really, they said, are you going to re-sign? He said, well, if they give me enough money. And they didn't like the fact that you just never know what you're going to get. And they're paying him a lot of money.
They do now. Here's the 0-2 delivery. That'll be taken outside for a ball. Pennington is a switch hitter. He hasn't had enough at bats to have much knowledge about him. Only 35 at bats. This is the 11th game he's played in. Does have a home run, 4 RBIs. Got a tremendous arm. That one in the air to right center field, not deep. Bermuda Triangle. Markakis can't get it. That's going to score another run. Sweeney will come in to score. Pennington gets the RBI on a Texas leaguer, and it is a 2-0 A's lead.
Well, it all started with Tommy Everidge poking a ball into right field, and right here it doesn't look like anybody gets a good read. The ball up and away off the end of the bat. Nick can't get to it. Markakis lets it fall. You can see Adam Jones coming in, and there's your second run. So Rick Kranitz will come out and once again try to reinforce you're throwing a lot better than the results.
Jim, tonight we've talked about being so hot in the ball carrying. Here early in this ball game, the outfielders on both teams have started back on every ball hit, even though they haven't carried very far. And it's not just Adam and Nick Markakis. Rajai Davis did the same thing in the last inning. He took 2 steps backwards. See that?
Yeah, and again, I think a lot of it has to do with your position. If you play a little bit deeper, you're always probably coming in. If you play medium shallow, especially Adam Jones, you're, oh, hey, is it hit hard or is it not? And again, the tough read is a big swing, and that's what it was, off the end of the bat. And that's what Pennington was able to do.
So the A's still only 1 away, and here's Kennedy at the top of the order, and he will take that for a strike. So they had put up a couple of runs on 4 hits in this inning, 3 singles and a double. And now Kennedy at the top of the order gets the opportunity. Guthrie, 0-1 delivery to him, and that will be taken down low for a ball. Kennedy, an incredible 392 with runners in scoring position. He hasn't had enough games to be up there among the leaders, but he's got a big number. And there's a strike on the inside corner. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Well, I asked Bob Guerin, I said, your club is playing very hard. You've won 12 out of the 25 games. I mean, you're 17 back. How you've done it? He said a lot has to do with Adam Kennedy. I mean, this is a guy that's played in the postseason, played on their World Championship Angels team. And when you have a young team, you want somebody that's been out there, a veteran, and that's what Adam Kennedy brings to this ball club.
And I take it back. He has enough at bats now. He has qualified. He is 4th in the American League with runners in scoring position at 392. This is a player released by the Cardinals. Got a minor league contract with Tampa Bay. Started at AAA there. 1-2 delivery. Swung on. Foul tipped into the mitten. Wieters hangs on to it. So Kennedy a strikeout victim. The first for Guthrie, and there are 2 down.
Yeah, Rick Kranitz comes out. Yesterday he came out to Mattis to throw a changeup for a home run, but right here he's got a veteran, a guy that's now in his 4th year, and Jeremy Guthrie buries a fastball down and away. Exactly what he needed in that situation.
Now another good hitter with runners in scoring position. Davis, Rajai Davis, outside of first. Wigginton, the run, will not have a play. Davis is hitting .360 in these situations. Runners on at first and second, 2 down. 2 runs in here in the 2nd inning, as Jeremy Guthrie could not get through that order the first time without giving up runs, as has been the case much of the year. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way. A check swing and a breaking ball. He held up on it. 1 ball, 1 strike count. The A's come in with the worst batting average, as we showed you. They are 12th in runs. For a team that's supposedly built on Billy Bean's on-base percentage theory, they're 11th in that department this year. Inside, almost caught his belt buckle.
Now, you don't see a lot of that from Jeremy Guthrie. Everybody gets pretty comfortable. He hardly ever pitches in this ball. And if you're not quick, you're going to get nailed right in the rib cage. So let's see now. We get into a hitter's count at 2-1, and you can see Rajai Davis dodging away. Let's see where the next pitch is.
Davis grounded out his first time up. He's got a 5-game hit streak. A tapper. Wieters gets the out. So a couple of runs in on 4 hits with 2 left on, and the A's take an early 2-0 lead. See the Brad Bergeson Oriole t-shirt, and every Tuesday is Ollie's Bargain Night, presented by Ollie's Bargain Outlet. Upper reserve seats are only $8. To get yours, call the Orioles, 888-848-BIRD, or go to Orioles.com. Good word on Brad Bergeson before the ball game today. Out there throwing, obviously not from the mound yet, but Dave Tremblay said Bergeson looks like he will go to the mound in 2 or 3 days. So once he gets back up on the mound, then you get some idea of how long it's going to be before he can actually come back.
Yeah, they told him you can't go back and pitch till you stop limping. So I saw him today. I said, well, I tell you, I can stop limping. How hard is that?
Can't raise your hand this high, don't raise it that high.
You got it.
Ty Wigginton. And the pitch is outside. That is an injury that will not be forgotten by the fans who saw it, and it will be seen over and over again in Bergeson's career because it was scary. Wigginton will foul that one away. Ty Wigginton, Luke Scott, and Melvin Mora. Coming up, the Orioles with a 2-game losing streak, coming off the 2-5 road trip. Hoping to regroup here at home. That has been generally kind to them all season. Team hit just .244 during the road trip and averaged 4.4 runs per ball game. The problem with that, the team ERA was 5.25, and the starters even higher than that at 5.9. So not much has changed in that department. It's still about starting pitching, and it's taken down low 3-1.
Yeah, and I think you're seeing you've seen Baez struggle because too much work. Albers, especially Brian Bass. So you hope that as they get more experience, they'll pitch better.
Yep. Better. 3-1 delivery on the way and inside. So the free pass after the runs are scored. Wigginton gets on here to start the second inning. 28 walks and 45 innings for Gonzalez. That's a little high.
Yeah, and he's young. And again, power arm. He gets a little bit quick. Of course, I guess the irony of this start is his worst start was where he gave up, 10 runs in a little bit under 3 innings. And then Jeremy Guthrie, his worst start, where he gave up 6 runs in 2/3 of an innings. But lately, he's been very, very good. But again, he's very, very young. You really don't know. You know you got good stuff. You know he's got a good curveball, but will he command his fastball? Well, sounds like we're talking about some of the Orioles guys.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
Tell you what's really impressive. Those last 3 starts were against Texas, at home, at Boston, and at New York.
Well, it tells me he's willing to throw the ball over the plate, and I think that could be said for a lot of the Orioles' young starters. It's not that they're wild; they're just sometimes wild in the strike zone, and that's results like we saw with Brian Mattis yesterday, with some balls being hit out of the ballpark.
Luke Scott, 293 versus left-handers, takes it for his strike. how young this staff is. Gonzalez is 23, and he's the 4th youngest pitcher in their rotation. Trevor Cahill's 21, Brett Anderson is 21, and Vin Marzano is 22. He's the old man at 23 in an all-rookie rotation. Here's the 0-2 delivery in the dirt. Nice stop. Runner's going to go, and a good heads-up piece of base running because Wigginton just took off. If you hesitate on that, you're either going to be out or you don't go. He took off and gets the base.
No, those are the little things that you work on all spring training, and then what happens is when the season starts, do you react to them? And right there, I mean, if you're getting your secondary lead, right there, he sees that Suzuki's going to have to make a perfect play, and it's very difficult to do that on a consistent basis. So there you go. It's like a leadoff double. Chance to get right back into this game. And for Luke Scott, you're struggling a little bit, not hitting very well. 9 for your last 63. Hit a ground ball, get him to third base, get him in, do something.
1-2 delivery on the way. Scott up the middle into the glove and a double play. Did he catch that on the fly or not? No, he didn't. It's dropped.
Well, just running back.
There's the tag because Scott had already gone down on that. Gonzalez, after he hauled that in, wasn't quite sure which way he wanted to go.
Yeah, just a sharp one hopper right there, and you can see the overspin, and then get exactly what you're doing. Get it to somebody, run him back towards the base, and right there, they drop the ball. Pennington drops it, and then you're easy out by Kennedy because already Luke Scott had been at second base. Just run him back, tag the runner out.
That was the old I surrender look right there. So Gonzalez gets the out. The Orioles get the base. Scott will take over for Wigginton as Luke Scott ran that one hard, and the rundown lasted long enough for him to get down to second base. So Melvin Mora with one away will get the RBI chance. Mora, 299 with runners in scoring position. And it is here that the Orioles have probably suffered the most offensively. Melvin Mora and Aubrey Huff, both slugging percentages have dropped dramatically from last year. So the power, the extra base hit power, hasn't been there. You take a look this season, the largest difference in slugging percentage between last year and this year, Melvin Moore's the biggest drop with Milton Bradley and Aubrey Huff right behind them, then Giambi and Josh Hamilton, and then David Ortiz of the Red Sox. Those are the largest drops in slugging percentage in the league on the year. 1-1 delivery on the way, fouled off. So when that happens, obviously that's going to make a huge difference in what you do. The home runs are down, the extra base hits are down, and the slugging percentage, that is a substantial number to go from 432 to 413 in slugging.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, the Orioles, they come in 11th in runs. If they weren't hitting close to 300 or running in scoring position, that number would even be lower.
Yep. Fouled away. Thus, you have the numbers that are looked at by Andy McPhail, and you have the discussion going on about Melvin Morris probably not coming back. Aubrey Huff, a real issue as to whether he will be back, and the need to get a right-handed power bat that Dave Tremblay keeps talking about, and the concern about who's going to play the corners next year at third and first. 1-2 delivery inside. Nice stop made. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Scott will stay at second base.
And of course, the Orioles aren't the only team that's having offensive problems. What are the Yankees? They had gone, what, 31 scoreless innings before they scored last night in the 8th inning.
The Red Sox.
I mean, the Red Sox. And if you look at the Oakland A's, who the Orioles are playing tonight, the Red Sox, the A's have had a better offense since May 9th than the Red Sox. And that's hard to believe.
2-2 in the dirt again. Suzuki's doing a lot of walking, and a strike called. Melvin Mora just drops the bat. The first base umpire, Greg Gibson, made this call on Mora on a check swing.
Well, you need a strikeout. Did you get one? Yeah, you could see the bat head. It looked like he stopped to swing, but Greg Gibson does a nice job because that bat head definitely went out. I mean, it wasn't much of a swing, but then again, that is exactly how far the bat travels.
That's how good umpires are. We sit here and the naked eye oftentimes go, oh, that's.
I thought he held us.
I thought he held up. And then you look at it, it wasn't even close. And they don't have replay. So Matt Wieters will look for the 2-out RBI. 2-0 lead for the A's here. Matt's numbers, he continues to put them up. Last 16 games, hitting .316, 5 RBIs. 1-0 count. Gonzalez delivery to him. That will be taken down low. The switch hitting numbers have been vastly different for Matt on the season. As right-handed, 216 as he bats now, and left-handed, 297. Only 3 home runs. You see the RBIs about the same from each side of the plate.
And all the home runs to the opposite field, which I think is part of the maturation process.
Hit hard, but right at the shortstop. Pennington up. Makes the play for the out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and a base runner left on. The A's leading it 2-0. And by PNC. PNC leading the way. Medium. Mustard relish onions. There's a young man who just got out from the swimming hole. A little cowlick on his back of that head, don't you think? Huh? Strike on the inside corner to Scott Hairston. Hairston had a single his first time up. Just a .246 major league hitter coming into this season. Pops that one up. Silo shot. Somebody help me at the plate, please. Wigginton does. Coming into this game on the season, the A's have the 3-0 mark, and they have really put it to the Orioles. Look at the batting average, 23-5. They've outscored the Orioles, and the ERA is just somewhere else.
Yeah, well, anytime you play a 3-game series, in 2 of those games you give up 9 runs, which is the case. That's, of course, that shortest stint ever. 7 early runs against the A's, and the Orioles had come from Seattle. They had won 1 game up there, a 1-0 game by Rich Hill. A little unexpected. They were 24-30 when they went to Oakland. That gives you an idea. About a third of the way through the season. And lost 3 in a row.
Oakland beat them 9-1, 9-4, and 3-0. With Braden, who's now injured, Cahill and Mazzaro, the 2 youngsters, taking the wins. Guthrie, Birkin, and Hill took the losses. The pitch will be taken down low for a ball. Jack Cuss, the designated hitter. Cuss grounded out his first time up. 1 for 11 against the O's this year. That one is a home run with 4 RBIs.
Moneyball. And he really kind of fits the guy. Billy Beane, the general manager, doesn't care if you strike out a lot, but he cares about on-base percentage, cares about home runs. Of course, if you get on base and you walk and you have a good eye, you're going to score runs, even if you don't have a lot of speed.
Yep. The Cuss really is the epitome. I mean, 2nd in strikeouts, 7th in walks, and the 3rd lowest batting average in the league at .228. And here he is, the DH batting cleanup. 2 ball, 2 strike count on him. Jeremy Guthrie trying to have a quick inning after the 2 runs on 4 hits in the second.
Yeah, he maintained pretty well. Only one of them, the Ryan Sweeney double, was hit hard, but they put on some nice approaches. He got a little unlucky.
That one lifted, and that'll be a base hit into center field. So Custa's on with a base hit. Even when he gets a single, the swing he takes is a home run swing.
Well, it's an uppercut swing. It's a calculated swing. I am not trying to hit a soft single anywhere unless I get jammed, and that won't be on purpose.
That's right. I'd prefer to have the ball leave the park.
Kind of a Ruthian swing. What do you say? Kind of a.
It is that. Little more out of control than with the Babe.
Yes.
Here's Kurt Suzuki. Suzuki's been hitting the long ball too, as he had homer for the 4th time in the last 12 games. Got a career high in doubles, RBIs, and stolen bases for Kurt Suzuki. 93rd game that he has caught, more than any other catcher in the league. That is outside for a ball. He is a real workhorse.
And that's out of 111. Gives you an idea.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Playing in Oakland with the Pacific air moving in at night doesn't hurt the cause. That one drilled to center. Jones started in, now backs up. Line drive is going all over the place like a knuckleball. Suzuki is retired, 2 down.
Hey, you don't overplay a lot if you have great speed and instincts, and this ball knuckling, you could see right there, it makes that little adjustment with the glove. The ball hit awfully hard. It's kind of making up for last inning when they hit a couple of dunkers and bloops.
Those were hits. These are outs in the wonderful game of baseball.
Yep, it's really what it's about. And it all started with Tommy Everidge just taking a 2-2 pitch. Jeremy Guthrie got it up, hit it into right field to get it going.
Everidge takes it outside for a ball. 26-year-old making his 12th start at first base. There are the numbers for Guthrie, 37 in that second. Towering fly ball, left center. Jones, he's got it. No runs, just 1 hit and a base runner left on. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Picnic time. It is 2-0 A's. AT&T, all students of any age can purchase a left field upper reserve seat for only $6 with a valid student ID. 888-848-BIRD. Go to Orioles.com. That's Friday night for fireworks night. 2-0 lead for the A's going to the bottom of the 3rd. Gio Gonzalez, the left-hander, 23 years old, has walked 1 and struck out 1. As Torres will get his first at bat. Comes in with a 3-game hit streak and goes after the first pitch to center. Rajai Davis won't get it. It's a 4-game hit streak and a leadoff single, 3rd inning.
Yeah, take a page out of the A's book. Did a couple of well-placed base hits for a couple of runs in the 2nd. And that's what Caesar, who's been red hot with the bat. 3 RBIs the other night in Detroit.
A leadoff man out against Gonzalez. On the top of the order, Brian Roberts, who grounded out his first time up.
Yeah, the Orioles have hit a couple of balls sharply, but it seems that they're right at Pennington, the shortstop. Even Wieters the last inning with a chance to get a run in.
Butting for a base hit, and he's going to get one. Here's the throw down to first, not in time. Brian Roberts perfectly placed that one.
I'm telling you, I've talked about it for the last couple of years, but as good a player as he is, he'd even be better if you could get him to do this at the appropriate time. I mean, he's a doubles machine, so you don't want to take the bat out of his hand, but if they give you the base hit, you're 2 runs down. Gonzalez actually makes a very good play. I mean, he played football and soccer and basketball down in Florida, so he gets to it quickly. But tell you what, now all of a sudden you got the go-ahead run coming to the plate. Just the little things. I mean, that's okay. It's not working the way it is. Let's change something. Well, that's a change in the right direction.
And he can do that.
Oh, could he ever? And he could do it from the other side too.
Now Nolan Reimold has singled his first time up with nobody out. Reimold, a big breaking ball that is in there for a strike. Nolan's already had a pretty good season against this Oakland team, as he's picked up 3 hits and 8 at bats with a homer and 3 RBIs. Holding a runner close at second base is Torres. That ball down the line in right. Sweeney in the corner, reaches out, makes the catch. Runner will tag. Both of them will move up. So good base running as Torres moves over. Roberts goes to second. Not the intended what he wanted to do, but a productive at bat.
Yeah, nice play by Ryan Sweeney because of the wall coming up, and that ball almost blows back into fair territory. So it is an out. It does go on your batting average is not very productive, but in reality it gets the tying runs to second and third.
And Adam Jones will get the opportunity to bring him home. 337 with runners in scoring position and 297 overall. Jones, fielder's choice first time up. Breaking ball. Most hits while trailing this season with the team behind goes to Adam Jones. Ryan Braun, Ichiro, Zimmerman, and Miguel Tejada are the top 5 in that department. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Big, that's as hard as Gonzalez has thrown.
Well, I saw him the other night, and he was occasionally 94. That one at 93, but not only that, it had that great life. I think that's what they like. I would imagine, again, this youngster's only 23, he will come up with pretty good changeup because he jumps at you a little bit like Johan Santana. You know, nice, smooth, little relax, and then the ball flies out of his hand.
0-2 is going to be fouled away.
See, and once you make a hitter, even if you're as good as Adam Jones, respect that outside corner with that 93 running away from you. It sets up what you talked about early, that breaking ball down and in. And 0-2, you don't have to throw it for a strike.
And he's gotten a lot of hitters out on that breaking ball down and in.
Now, that's theory. Can you execute it?
Yeah.
And that's the difficulty for young pitchers.
0-2 count, 2-on. Jones waiting. There it is. That's the pitch we're talking about, and he gets the strikeout, his second.
And it all started, again, with fastball command. Away, you make a very good hitter at Adam Jones. I mean, Adam was thinking about getting a base hit, but a fly ball would have got a run in. Now there's that big, sharp-looking breaking ball. It's not 12-6 because of the arm angle, but it's close to it. And that ball just keeps going down.
You can see why Gonzalez, when he is on, can be very effective. Nick Markakis. Nick coming into the game with a 3-game hit streak. 4th in doubles, 4th in RBIs, and 8th in hits in the American League. He popped out his first time up. Nick has reached base 30 consecutive games. 3rd time in his career he's had a streak that long, and it is right now the longest active streak in the majors. 1-0 delivery to him. Markakis, a slow roller. Gonzalez gets it and gets the out. No runs, couple of hits, no errors. 2 are left in scoring position. 2-0 Oakland. Jones and the fans in the news section on August 30 and again on September 5. On those dates, for just $21, you get a Reserve Utah Street bleacher seat and the I Live in 2110 Utah Street t-shirt. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Get out there in the power alley. Guthrie, no walks and 1 strikeout. Brian Sweeney hitting at .271, added a double in the second inning and a run scored. RBIs to Ellis and Pennington in the inning. That will catch the inside corner. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Sweeney lifts that one the other way. Reimold. Sweeney retired. 3 fly ball outs in a row, 1 away. It's the kind of night where you expect to hear the strains of summertime rolling in over the outfield wall.
I remember when I first signed with the Orioles, the press guide's a little bit different than it is now. It was actually almost probably about 18 by 24, and they actually showed a summer scene of the bleachers in Memorial Stadium. Now you're 18 years old and you're in Thomasville, Georgia, and you don't know where you're going to go play, and then of course I would get to live watching that for 20 years, and for one of those nights.
It's a baseball night.
Yeah, it really is. And
summer baseball night.
I mean, Robert Andino, who Gonzalez is from South Florida, and Robert Andino, the utility guy for the Orioles, said, no, this is the kind of weather you want. Florida weather, where it's hot. Baseball weather.
Hot.
But for a lot of guys, again, you better be well conditioned. And that should not be an issue for anybody that pitches for the Orioles, because that's part of the deal here.
And you better drink a lot of water.
Yep.
Line drive, base hit into center field. Ellis is 2 for 2, so from the 8th spot he's delivering. He came in 1 for 8 against Guthrie, but he's had 2 singles in the ball game. The first one got an RBI, so he's smiling.
Yeah, 1 on a low and away slider, and we talked about being a high ball hitter, and the next time he gets a belt high fastball and does what he usually does, which is hits it, take it right back up the middle. Let's see, Jeremy. And that ball not catchable.
That ball is fouled away. Hot summer nights are conducive to long fly balls. Mickey Mantle on this date on a hot summer night at Memorial in 1957 hit a 460-foot homer, the first player to clear the center field hedge at Memorial Stadium. This date in '57 for the Mets.
Now that may have been before they actually had the inner fence.
It was.
Yeah, I mean, because in 1954 the fence, I mean, it used to start right kind of to 360. Well, it started way. I mean, that was before my time, but the bullpens would have been don't even know where the bullpens were.
They
would have been in the field of play. They would have been way out in left center and right center field.
The Mick launched one. He had a habit of doing that in ballparks.
Well, the old Yankee Stadium, 461 to the flagpole where the monuments were.
That one in the air to left field. Reimold. He's got it. Cliff Pennington is retired. And 2 away. Ellis remains on at first base.
Yeah, see, so Pennington hits it well. Just a fly out. Last time, big swing off the end of the bat, loops one into center field for an RBI. That's baseball.
I'm not sure the ball's carrying that well tonight.
Not yet.
Hard to tell. Not yet. I mean, it's hard to tell because sometimes off the end of the bat.
Well, there's a little bit of breeze. I mean, the one thing about being, I guess, what, 93 to 96 or whatever it was, ended up the high here in Baltimore. Those flags don't show it, but there was a breeze pretty much in the morning and the afternoon. I mean, but it's not like it was.
Short lead at first for Ellis. Kennedy, we were talking about Kennedy last at bat, how he was released by the Cardinals in February, signed by Tampa Bay. He began at AAA, traded to Oakland May 8th for a player to be named later, ended up being Joe Dillon. And that looks like a sweet deal right now. As Jim said, Kennedy's made a very big difference on this ball club and has played very well. He's just energized the running game for the team. Will foul that one away, and a 1-ball 2-strike count on Kennedy.
Yeah, I think you could do a lot of things with him if you're a manager. I mean, you can hit and run with him. He can play, as we mentioned, he can play second base. He can play third where he's playing tonight. He hits the ball to all fields. Anybody that watched him in the playoffs, what, he hit 3 home runs in a ball game? Not a home run hitter per se, but the ability to drive the ball if you make a mistake.
Got 3, 1-ball 2-strike count on him. Will step off and look the runner back. Ellis back to the bag.
I always thought he was an uppercut hitter. So again, if you can pitch the ball up and in, but again, well off the plate. So you're always wondering, is he going to really dive in? And there he chases a sweet thing and change it.
That's a big help for Guthrie right there as he gets his second strikeout. Another base runner left on. It remains the A's up 2-0.
On Utah Street near Gate A. The autograph station opens 90 minutes before first pitch and stays open until 30 minutes before game time. Tonight's Orioles alumni were 2008 Hall of Fame inductee Dick Williams, plus Bill Hunter and Joe Durham. Also, don't miss a special Orioles Alumni Autograph Series event this Friday night as members of the 1989 Why Not Orioles will be here. Scheduled to appear are Mickey Tuttleton, Mike Devereaux, Dave Schmidt, and Massen's own Dave Johnson. For more details, go to Orioles.com. Gary?
Amber, thanks. A great program and a great chance for Oriole fans to see some wonderful names from O's ball clubs. Here's Ty Wigginton, first ball hitting down the line in right field. Sweeney coming hard and slides and makes a nice catch. And I think he caught that with the glove over the ball instead of the other way around. Nice play.
Yeah, well, you got your starting pitcher and your right fielder who can also play center field in a trade. And right here you can see why. We already made a nice play on the Reimold ball. But again, who cares about the turf here, or the tartan, whatever you want to call it, rubberized track.
That's hard to catch a fly ball that way. Your glove's coming down on top of the ball. Yeah. Nice play.
It's a big glove.
A big glove, yes. Nice out right there.
Well, it really is a 2-0 ball game because it's a leadoff batter. It looked like the ball could have been fair, so it could have been extra base hit. I mean, you just don't ever know, and what it does, it just gives you an out. And if you're pitching, you go, you know what? One could have been on. Right? Oh, yep, it really does. I mean, it seems like it's somewhat insignificant, but it isn't.
No out is insignificant. No. 0-2 count.
You'll find that out as this game progresses.
Luke Scott, fielder's choice, his first time up. Good play, Sweeney in right. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Scott will take it up high. Luke looking for the consistency that we have seen from him last year and this year, and that has just drifted away since the All-Star break, hitting 143, 18 games. Breaking ball, and that's what's happened to him. The confidence level so low that.
Well, he's changed his stance. I mean, the first thing I watched, we watched a guy that was much more upright, and arms right on his shoulders. Now he's all of a sudden, he's in a little different stance. He's back on his back foot because he's not staying back as much. So he's tried to make some adjustments, and right there on that curveball, you can't adjust to that. Not that kind of hook.
And quickly, there are 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Here's Melvin Moore, a strikeout victim, his first time up. The A's with RBIs in the 2nd inning from Ellis and Pennington on an inning that started with a fly ball out and was followed by 3 singles and a double, and 2 runs on 4 hits in the 2nd. 1-0 delivery, check swing strike on the outside corner. Gonzalez is painting it pretty good, especially against right-handers, both in and out.
Well, he signed originally with the White Sox for $850,000. He's one of those compensation picks between the 1st and 2nd round.
That's drilled for a base hit. Moore got one he could tag right there. 2-out single. We're talking about former Orioles who returned tonight. Dick Williams on hand. The Hall of Famer came out to throw the first pitch. He spent 3 separate tours of duty over 5 years with the O's, but of course went in the Hall of Fame as a manager. 21 years, 6 teams, 18th all-time in wins as a manager, and the only manager to win 90 or more games with 4 different ball clubs. Dick Williams on hand for the ball game tonight.
Got Weaver hair.
He does, doesn't he?
Or see, he managed some of those great A's teams.
The other thing I like about that shot, did you notice who came out and took the first pitch? Brian Mattis. That's a part of what this youth group the Orioles have. Love baseball, and they love to talk about baseball, and they love meeting players.
Well, Dick Williams was a terrific manager. That's why he's in the Hall of Fame, and he could flat out manage. And it's not like he had just some easy guys to manage. If you go back and think of some of the teams he had, you had Charlie Finley as your owner, then you had Reggie, and Bando was a gentleman, would go on to be the general manager of the Brewers. But you had Campaneris and Billy North, and you had Raleigh Fingers. You had a lot of guys with
their own mind.
Yeah, distinct personalities, but they could play.
And that's all he asked. And Gonzalez right now is putting on a show. 23-year-old left-hander. He's got 4 strikeouts. Wieters goes down, a runner left on, and it remains a 2-0 A's lead. Strike on the outside corner. Those were the days. Box of popcorn was bigger than he was, but folks, he's going to win that battle, let me assure you. Look at this.
Now, do you ever
watch this? I can eat this faster than you can. Watch this. Got a shovel. Ground ball to third. Melvin Moore up with it. Running throw is off the mark, and the tag not made.
Yeah, probably going to be an error. And I was thinking, as Davis, who can fly, 9 stolen bases last 21 games. Look where Melvin's playing because of the fact he tried to attempt a bunt. So again, any decent kind of throw gets him, but he drops his arm and takes a couple of looks.
He is some fast.
Yeah, he really is. Usain Bolt right there, looking back to see how far the guys of the 100 meters were behind him.
Wow. They give him a base hit. So Davis is on with a single, his first hit. He's got a 6-game hit streak now. Here is Scott Hairston, the number 3 hitter, a single, and he has popped out.
They do not run very much against Jeremy Guthrie, only 8 times all year long.
That one to left field, Reimold in place.
And that's a wise decision if you have speed at first base. You play a lot of games against Kansas City. If you can throw a first pitch strike, sometimes you get the out, you get the double play ball before they get a chance to run.
Yep.
But if you go ball 1, ball 2, 2-1, 3-1,
somebody's off.
Yep, it's a track meet.
So 1 away. Here's Jack Cust. Cust with a single, and he has grounded out. Already 8 hits in the ball game. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. 8 for the A's. Only 1 extra base hit, the double by Sweeney. And that one's going to be a base hit against the shift. On his way to third, Davis, no play, into the cutoff man. Davis gets motoring. He is something to watch. And Cust with a base hit. The A's have covered the corners here with 1 away.
Yeah, the Angels are going to come in for a 4-game series, and this is what they do so well. I mean, they have more home runs than the A's, but right here, no hesitation. Sharp hit ball, a guy that can throw as well as anybody in right field, Nick Markakis, and you don't even hesitate because that's part of your game. That is why they can be last in average, and they can be 13th in home runs and 11th in on-base percentage, and still we have the same runs per game scored as the Orioles.
Yep. They just go that first to third thing and take extra bases and steal bases, and that's how they get them instead of hitting doubles and home runs. Now Suzuki up, and he's going to get a base hit into center field. Davis will score. Cust will stop at second. Suzuki's first hit of the ball game and an RBI, and 3 runs on 10 hits now for the A's.
Yeah, Jeremy Guthrie needed to make a pitch there, and it looked like he gets a hanging breaking ball. So he's thinking there's a hanging curveball, and Suzuki, who's a terrific high ball hitter, just pings it back up the middle.
And again, as happens so often to the Orioles starters, it just mounts up. Sometimes you're not even aware of it. Mark Henderson, you look up and there are 10 hits on the board. Everidge will foul that one away outside of first base. Ty Wigginton, infield fly rule, and he's got it. So 2 down. Cust on at second base. Suzuki on at first, with the A's having a 3-0 lead in the ballgame.
Well, what we're seeing a young rookie 23-year-old to this point outpitch a guy that's now in his 4th year in the big leagues. Now Jeremy's been a little bit unlucky tonight. But again, the Orioles just haven't been able to mount anything against Gio Gonzalez, and when they get an opportunity, he makes the big pitch, and that's the difference. And you talked about pitch count early on, 37 pitches back in the 2nd inning when they got the couple of runs.
Sweeney's got the extra base hit in the ball game, and will take it down low. He had a double and scored in the 2nd inning. He has also flied out to left field, and Sweeney has runners on at first and second with 2 down. It's the other thing this team does. They've got a better average with runners in scoring position with 2 out than they have with 1 or no outs. 277 when there are 2 down, 268 otherwise. 1-1 delivery on the way. Fastball, that is there, and a 1-ball 2-strike count. And Sweeney behind. Sweeney's not had a good start in August, hitting only 182. He has had a couple of home runs. Guthrie, a look back. Here's the 1-2 delivery, and it's outside. 2-2. Guthrie up to 97 pitches in the ballgame. 2-2 delivery on the way. Popped him up. No play.
I think for Jeremy, his plan is get out of this inning right now. Keep that pitch count under 100. Go out there one more time and hope that the Orioles can get some offense against the young left-hander for the 8th. And of course, Dave Tremblay is saying, you know what, if he doesn't get him out, then I'm going to probably have to go to the bullpen.
2-2. Runners off first and second. Again, fought off.
Well, the amazing thing to me is that you look at some of the swings and they're late and they're barely getting the ball to the bat head to the ball, but at the end of the day they seem to get up down the road a good pitch to hit at some point, or they make a good adjustment.
They do foul off a lot of pitches in a ball game.
And if your ball was that straight, I think I've heard scouts say, well, good velocity, and sometimes Jeremy can be anywhere from 91 to 96 if you look at the pitch count. But again, you wouldn't be fouling that many balls off if the ball was that straight. It's just he doesn't have a strikeout pitch this year like he had last year.
2-2 delivery. There's another one.
And when he tries to go in, as we saw with Bobby Abreu of the Angels, a couple of home runs, didn't quite get in. So there's something going on that, and I don't know what it is.
9 pitches this at bat. 2-2 delivery on the way, up high, and the count will go full. So now the runners get the advantage. Cust will be off from second, Suzuki off from first with 2 down, and a 3-ball 2-strike count on Sweeney. Sweeney has good opposite field power. Reimold plays him deep and left. 3-2 delivery on the way, and he fouls another one back. Probably any hope Guthrie had of coming back right here may have been eaten up already by Sweeney's at bat, and a breaking ball that missed
and crossed him up.
Yep.
I don't think Matt Wieters, you could see him go up. He thought that was going to either be a changeup or fastball, and he was able to catch it though.
Boy, that was some at bat right there. That's the first walk surrendered, and took double-digit pitchers to get there. So Cust at third, Suzuki at second. Bases loaded. Ellis is already 2 for 2 with an RBI in the ballgame, and Ellis fights it off for strike 1. So with a 3-0 lead, a big at bat right here. Ellis 1 for 8 coming in against Guthrie, 2 for 2 in the ballgame. 2 out runner in scoring position. 2 of the best in the game, Adam Kennedy and Mark Ellis. Those are big-time numbers and big-time players on that list. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That'll be taken up high.
Yeah, you saw a name in there, Gary Matthews Jr., who's been playing very well with Torrey Hunter, the All-Star, out of the lineup. We'll see him with the Angels again coming in on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
And he does it again. A base hit into left field. Cust will score. Suzuki will score. It is a bases-loaded single with 2 down. And Ellis lives up to his reputation and is having a career night here. He's got 3 RBIs and 3 hits, and it's a 5-0 A's lead.
And once again, he works the ability to get a pitch that he can handle. That's a ball up. You could see belt high, middle of the plate. And again, good speed from their catcher, Kurt Suzuki. So he easily scores to make it 5-0 and forces the hand of Dave Tremblay, the Orioles skipper.
So Jeremy Guthrie is not one and has a 3-game losing streak going. Will be coming out of the ball game here after 4 2/3 innings. 5 runs, 11 hits, and responsible for 2 on. And now in this one, 4 2/3 and 5 runs and 11 hits.
Yeah, he will leave. Mark Hendrickson will come on and try to keep the game right where it is. And again, pretty good out of the bullpen, much better as a starter, even though he did have a couple of good starts. But again, not overpowering, but the ability to change speeds and get hitters out, and that's what Dave Tremblay would love to have him come in and do now. Because again, the Oakland A's, we haven't mentioned it, they have the 3rd best bullpen in the American League, so they're tough to beat as the game progresses.
So Hendrickson will work to the switch hitter, Cliff Pennington, and he will take a strike. With a name like that, don't you think there ought to be at least a 3rd or 4th behind it, like Cliff Pennington the 3rd? Well,
there are a lot of Cliff Penningtons, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and there's a quarterback down with the Dolphins too.
Cliff Pennington.
Is it Cliff or is it Chad Pennington? Yeah, Chad. Pennington.
It's a very regal name, Pennington, and then you add the Cliff to it.
Well, and you got to have a middle name in there, right?
Clifton something Pennington the 3rd. Good for high T. Pennington has a single and an RBI, and he flied out to left field. He's got 2 on here. There are 2 down.
It would probably be Chadford too, wouldn't it?
Yes,
it would.
Yes, it would.
Not Chad.
0-2 delivery on the way. Good pitch. Hendrickson came in and got the strikeout, but a 3-run inning makes it 5-0 A's.
What was it like to know that your teammate and friend was going to the big league?
Well, it's encouraging, to know that maybe we could get there too. But to see him up there and to hear about it and for him to tell us that he was going up, it was a great feeling, and we felt like we were a part of it, and we were excited and really just overjoyed for him.
Well, you guys play in front of a lot of great friends in Frederick every day, but to come to the big park under the big lights, what does it do for you guys to maybe give you a little bit of motivation to see what your former teammate has here and to see what these guys have up here?
It's a lot of motivation. Just being down, in the clubhouse with these guys and kind of seeing how the atmosphere is in the big leagues. Just want you to get, you want to get here even more. And it's really exciting. Just being here with all these fans. You're like, God, one day, I could be out there, playing like, where those guys are. And it's really exciting.
Caleb, how are things going for the team down in Frederick?
Oh, we're doing well. We're just trying to make a late push for the playoffs and just trying to finish strong. It's late in the season. It's the dog days, so we're trying to push through and hopefully come out and have a chance of being in the race.
All right, well, thanks so much for being here with us, guys.
Oh, thank you.
All right, and I should say, Gary, Caleb is a catcher, and Zach, of course, is a pitcher with the Frederick Keys. Gary?
And watching a little baseball, and obviously hoping someday they are going to be part of what they're watching on the field. Is Torres on the fly ball out to Davis. One away here in the 5th inning. Gio Gonzalez, a walk and 4 strikeouts so far. The Orioles have 4 hits off him. They are all singles. That will be punched down the line and foul. Brian Roberts, one of those hits. He is 1 for 2. Reimold's picked up a single. Moore's got one, and as Torres had a base hit. Should mention that Brandon Snyder of the Norfolk Tides, the first baseman, International League announced he is the batter of the week, as he had a big week. 12 for 24, hitting .500 with 4 RBIs. Snyder on the season .280. He's got a couple of home runs, 33 RBIs, and 175 at bats. That is a fair ball right over the bag. Kennedy with a nice play to get the out on Roberts.
Yeah, he really takes his time. And again, we told you he was normally a second baseman. But again, if you're playing a step in, and watch him, it's a curveball, so he's going to have to go to his right and then let the bag bother him. He gets his feet set. That's the one commonality. The common trait that all good infielders have is fast feet. They get the feet set. They can make odd and balanced throws. They're very agile. And there's another fastball. I mean, this only once, and that was back in the third innings, have the Orioles been able to get 2 consecutive runners on, and that was to start the inning. And then Reimold hit one down the right field line. They advanced, but he got the big strikeout of Adam Jones. So not a lot of trouble for Gio Gonzalez.
Gonzalez, 2-0 on the road with a 4.5 ERA, is in charge of this ball game right now. It is his 11th appearance and the 8th start of the season. He did pitch some last year. His record this year 3-2, 4-6 in his young career. And the pitch is taken down low for a ball.
Yeah, kind of interesting. We told you he signs with the White Sox. He gets traded to the Phillies. The White Sox want him back. And of course, when he went to the Phillies, it was Jim Thome came to the White Sox with $22 million in cash. Then they get him back, and then he gets traded for Nick Swisher out to Oakland. When Swisher last January in 2008 goes to the White Sox, and of course now Swisher is playing with the Yankees, and Gonzalez is now with the A's as one of their starting pitchers.
It's the typical way that the A's, Billy Beane, has worked things. It's not made necessarily this deal or even the next one. It's another one down the line. 2-2 delivery on the way. Breaking ball is in the dirt. Reimold, a 1-for-2 in the ball game.
And at the end of the day, at the end of the day, what he wants to have them do, as the Orioles want to do, and he can fail the same thing, is have a multitude of pitching, because you can never have enough.
And somebody else will want it if you want a deal. 3-2 delivery. Reimold down to third again. Adam Kennedy. And he's got it. And Gonzalez, another 1-2-3 inning here in the 5th. Summer night. The Inter Harbor here in Baltimore. Right now, 5-0 A's lead.
Keeps the ball in the ballpark. That's usually been the Achilles heel for him. But they hit the ball all over the ballpark, knock him out in the 5th inning with 5 runs and 11 hits. So again, it wasn't like it was a home run-a-thon. It's just they had some great at-bats.
And AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network, brought it to you. AT&T, your world delivered. They have done that, accumulating 5 runs and 11 hits in this game. Adam Kennedy will take the pitch to left field. That is so typical of the hits tonight. Kennedy picks up his first base hit. He's got a single to lead off the 6th inning. We've had another of these little Texas bloop shots.
Well, and again, they always talk about staying inside the ball, and that's pretty much what he does. And again, doesn't try to pull it. If you do, you're going to roll over. It's probably going to be a routine ground ball somewhere. Is that a little bit fortunate? Yes. But it's a big field,
and you got to hit it.
Yeah, hit it where they aim. Yeah, I guess. Kind of like Dizzy Dean there, but done slid into second.
It's a truism though, and that's where they aim. Brian Roberts over to get a nice play, running throw. But didn't have any time with Davis going. Kennedy goes over to second base.
But even with that approach right there, you could see Roger Davis trying to hit the ball to right field, and the ball takes a high hop. Infield seems like it's speeded up a little bit. So again, a good approach, gets the run over, almost got himself a base hit into right field.
He is so fast, forces everybody to have to hurry. Now here's Hairston, who will get the RBI chance. We've talked about how the A's are able to produce runs. They are 7th in the league in walks, 7th most, and the 6th fewest strikeouts. That's why you have these hitters who foul off a lot of pitches, as we've seen, with Sweeney being the best example of that, with a walk in the 5th inning that really disrupted Guthrie's chance of getting through the inning and ended up being a 3-run 4-hit inning. Now Hendrickson on. He came on to get a strikeout in the 5th. He's got a runner at second base, 1 away. Hairston a single his first time up. He's looking here. Everybody for the A's has got a hit, at least one. Here's the 1-0 delivery, grounded to third base. Melvin Moore, the backhand, holds the runner. Plenty of time to get it over. Hairston is retired, and there are 2 down. 2 away. Runner on at second base. Designated hitter Jack Cuss coming up. He's had 2 hits and a run scored, 2 for 3 in the ball game for Cuss. This will be left-hander against left-hander. Cuss 0 for 4. Times he has faced Hendrickson. Overall, just 217 off left-handers, but only 234 off right-handers.
It's about walking and driving in runs and
hitting the long
base.
ball.
Yep.
There's the runner at second. Kennedy, who started it out with a single.
Man, Mark Henderson gets lefties out better than righties. Now, early on when he started, they were pretty much about 50-50. But those numbers have come down as his numbers come down since he moved from being a starter to a bullpen guy.
0-1 to Cuss, inside corner strike.
He's done a nice job. I mean, he's not one of those guys that lefties are going to hit 180 against. Not a George Sherrill, where they were 3 for 33, some incredible low number.
An enormous difference for him there, Jim. You're right, out of the bullpen, though. He's just a different pitcher.
Yeah, it just seems like he doesn't have to. He can attack the hitters a little bit more. Doesn't have to be perfect.
That's going to get away, and that's going to move Kennedy over to third base. A bouncer that Wieters couldn't keep on that third base side, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Just moves the runner up 90 feet, and again the curveball, you try to keep it in front of you. And you know that they're not going to advance unless they know they can make it. They're already in scoring position.
Going to charge that as a pass ball. Another one outside. Wieters has to go out to block.
Yeah, this one's not getting by. No big difference when you're at third versus second with 2 outs. Another curveball trying to get Cuss to chase. Not really close enough. So there you go. Into the defensive position. Thou shalt not pass.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Runner at third base, 2 down, and that will be nubbed the other way. Melvin Moore will not have a play on it.
And I was listening to Rick Dempsey before the game in the pregame talking about how Matt Wieters has done a much better job blocking the plate. He's made a lot of things. What I see is that early on, and Don Werner, the catching instructor, talked about something they would work on is giving your target. So the target used to come up, maybe not come back up. He's done a much better job. So if you're pitching, especially in this count, don't want to give up another run. What am I throwing to? You want the glove. And you're going to get the glove right there.
And he came in, and that may have hit the hand on the swing. And maybe no, he's coming back. Cuss wanted to go down to first. Home plate umpire going, no.
Anything to get on base.
Andy Fletcher said, you come back here. That's a foul ball.
I don't think it hit his hand anyway. Sounded like it hit the bat.
Bob Guerin, the skipper, coming out. First, he wants to talk with Cuss about, are you all right?
Well, let's see. I mean, if it really did hit his hand. So get the bat knob. Ooh, might have got it.
I think he got a piece of his hand.
Yeah, I'd be taking the glove off and pinching my hand and showing him. It's good for the on base percentage. Yeah, it almost like it got the knob of the bat.
It's a foul ball. That's the one thing we know. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count on him. So Cuss stands back in with a runner at third. Here's the 2-2 from Henderson. And to second base. Well, the shift works. Brian Roberts right where a base hit would have gone. Runner left on at third base. It remains a 5-0 A's lead.
Looks like it was a good week to be named Brandon. Here's why. Brandon Snyder with AAA Norfolk. He was named the International League Co-Player of the Week. Also, Brandon Irby with AA Bowie. He was named the Eastern League Pitcher of the Week, pitching 8 innings, giving up no hits and 5 strikeouts. I also want to mention we do know there are some members of the AA team Bowie here as well. The Bowie Bay Sox. Steve Johnson, Dave Johnson's son, is here, and so we welcome them to Camden Yards and look forward to maybe seeing all of them one day out on the field here at Camden Yards. Gary?
Amber, you better watch that little one behind you there. She's got a glove ready to catch a ball, so you're protected. She was watching from the side there.
There's nothing wrong with dreaming. I think she just needs to grow into the glove
exactly.
just a little bit.
Yeah, she's got it on, though.
But I'm looking. She's built like a little athlete, though. I wouldn't underestimate
her.
No,
I think you're safe there. I think you're perfectly safe.
And the peanuts are more important right now than the glove. So.
See? She's very smart as well as cute. 0-1 count here as the Orioles try and fight back now in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Jones, Markakis, and Wigginton. That one to second. Inside out swing. Ellis, 1 down.
Yeah, that is what Adam couldn't do back in the 3rd inning. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, only 1 out. And Gonzalez, who's just he's been outstanding. 1 walk, and he's got all his pitches up. So again, just an outstanding night to this point.
Nick Markakis continues getting on base and continues hot, especially since the All-Star break. The only cool period he had was going into the break, and it didn't last for very long. And he's trying to extend his streak. 30 consecutive games that Nick Markakis has been on base. He has had an 0 for 2, has popped out and grounded out so far in this one. Also has a 3-game hit streak. Gonzalez throwing a lot of strikes.
Yeah, not only is he throwing strikes, he's got good movement. He's got good location. He's got that curve ball. He's put that in the back of the Orioles hitter's mind because it's been outstanding tonight. I don't know if he's thrown a changeup. There's the curve ball. Misses with it. I think what happens, and you go out there and you get on a roll, is until somebody either gets a big hit or the Orioles can do what Oakland's done tonight, which was string hits together. They've done that in 2 innings. Other than that, you're just going to keep doing what you're doing.
2-1 delivery. Marquez fouls it away. Gonzalez is working on an extra day's rest. He's had 5 days off instead of the normal 4, just because of a couple of injuries that took place in the rotation. Sometimes that hurts a pitcher, sometimes makes them better. Generally, power pitchers, the day off is helpful, but for sinker ball pitchers who generally need to throw a little to get the sink working, they prefer to be in the regular rotation. 2-2 delivery. Marquez, that was up and in to him, fouled away, and a 2-ball 2-strike count.
Well, he's like it, and I think we can kind of analogize it to some of the Orioles, the young guys. They come to the big leagues. Rick Rodriguez, is a pitching coach down at AAA Sacramento, said the problem he had is he couldn't get his balance over the pitching rub. And how often do you see guys do that? When you're young, you don't have any experience.
That is a fair ball. Marquez will make the turn and head to second base. And he is in with a double and 31 consecutive games that he's reached on and a 4-game hit streak.
That is the 42nd base hit to left field that he has. You wondered why he's hitting around 300. 46 to center, 46 to right. You can talk all you want about using the whole field, but here's a perfect example. Defensive. What a great angle right there. Over the bag. Tim McClellan, the third base umpire, just casually says it's fair.
That's our friend Tim McClellan down there. All things done casually on the field. He's the crew chief. Here's Ty Wigginton. Orioles get hit number 5 off Gonzalez. First extra base hit for the O's. Breaking ball outside. Marquez. He and Brian Roberts in the chase for the league lead in doubles. Roberts has got 38. Marquez now has 36, tying him for second. Billy Butler of Kansas City, Adam Lind of Toronto, and Marquez with 36, all tied for second place. 1-0 count on Wigginton. Uncued that one off the end of the bat, and a 1-ball 1-strike count.
See, and there is your late movement. That was a ball that started on the plate and just kept running away, and that's why Ty is looking at the end of his bat, because that's exactly where he hit it. And the reason you try to do that, I mean, if you're a hitter, what do you want to do? You want to hit it in the good part of the bat. If you're a pitcher, you want to either change speeds, get the ball to move enough so you stay out of the happy zone. And a good moving fastball will allow you to do that.
1-ball 1-strike delivery. Gonzalez, the off-speed pitch, and that is going to be in there for a strike. Gonzalez, 1-ball 2-strike count. Hialeah, Florida. That's where he's from, and going to hear a lot more about him by the looks of the way he is pitching at the major league level this season. Runner on at second. The Orioles trying to get on the board and get a rally started here. 1-2 delivery. Wigginton will take it up high. Fastball. And a 2-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, this is only his 8th start, and if you take out, he had 10 days between July 10th and the All-Star break where he pitched 2 2/3 innings, gave up 10 runs or 10 hits and 11 runs in 2 2/3 innings. That's why the ERA is as high as it is.
It's only his 15th career start. Ground ball to short. Pennington.
There's your arm.
Boy, can he throw. Wow.
And he made a ball, and of course, if you're going to try to judge what kind of arm a guy is, it's when a shortstop has to go to his right. Take a look right here. All you got to do is set yourself and then let it go. Strong and accurate.
The people with the A's say he can do that on the run, that he'll make plays where he is still moving towards left field and will make a line drive throw to first base. That his arm is that strong. They really like his play at short. Luke Scott now will try for the 2-out RBI. Marquez a double on at second base. Breaking ball in there for a strike. He has struck out. Hit into a fielder's choice. We see Gonzalez. He throws a lot of breaking balls, that curveball, as the first pitch to a batter rather than starting him out with the fastball. And he's very effective with it. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Comes back with a heater outside. 1-1.
And of course, this is one of those nights, and we talked about the 3-game winning streak. He's on a roll where he's getting it over. Because other than that, he's a 2-pitch pitcher. Doesn't have a changeup to go to. But again, it's nice to have a lively fastball. A little bit extra, a little zip on it.
1-1 delivery on the way. Part of the reason his ERA is inflated was a 4 home run ball game he had against Minnesota. It was on July 20 when the Minnesota Twins just kind of demolished him.
Well, you could. Morneau had a grand slam and a 3-run home run in the same game.
Yeah.
Ray Fosse came in and
11 runs on 10 hits in 2 2/3 innings. That'll do your ERA no good. Breaking ball outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down, runner at second. Whatever Gonzalez did there, he didn't like, and Suzuki didn't like the way Gonzalez reacted, so he's going to go up and talk to him.
And that's what you have to do. And again, it's a very hot, humid night here in the 6th inning. You talked about Suzuki playing, what, 93 or 4 of the 111 games? I think they're wondering if he's all right. And I don't think he was happy with his execution of the curveball, but also, again, it's one of those nights where you're not used to this weather.
I think he lost his breath.
Yeah, he could have. Either that or just didn't like that curveball because it wasn't close enough to being a strike. I think he's just going to take a little walk and figure, you know what, I got to make a better pitch.
See him hold his hand up by his heart there. I really think he lost his breath and it was needed to regroup. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery, breaking ball outside, and the count goes to 3-2.
I remember about 4 years ago, Gil Mesh came in when he was pitching with Seattle on one of these 94 to 96 degree nights. And he said he started in the 4th inning seeing black spots. And this is a guy that came out of Louisiana, even though he was pitching for the Mariners at the time.
3-2 delivery on the way. It's a night where the trainers are very observant about water intake and making sure players do. You can get dehydrated on a night like tonight so easily. In fact, here at the ballpark, it's one of those nights where ice is given away outside the ballpark to fans, and water is available inside for fans. With the 93-degree temperature and a heat index of close to 100 or over. 3-2 count. Markakis at second base. Luke Scott waiting on it, and he's gone. Scott just so upset with his at-bats. And 1 left on here. It's still 5-0. At southwest.com. With Jim Palmer and Amber Theo Harris, I'm Gary Thorne. We thank you for joining us. The O's back home, opening up against the A's, with the Angels coming in during this homestand for the week. It'll be David Hernandez, Trevor Cahill tomorrow, Jason Birkin, and Vin Mazzaro. It's a day game on Wednesday at 1:35 first pitch. Wednesday day game. Mark Hendrickson in the air towards center. Jones. Kurt Suzuki flies out. He is now 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run scored in the ball game. One away, 7th inning.
Yeah, not your typical Oakland A where you're going to really work the count. If he gets something he likes, he just hacks at it.
There's rain around.
Yes. Well, we saw Nicole Sherry about an inning ago coming down and talking to the umpires, and then if you look down the right field line here, you will see the ground crew. They're ready.
Tommy Everidge up.
Well, it's actually getting a little bit cooler.
Indication that there are storms in the area. Single and a run scored. 1 for 3 in the ball game. Hendrickson with a fine off-speed breaking ball, and a 1-ball 1-strike count on Everidge.
Now he started it all back in the second. 4 consecutive base hits by the A's. Took a 2-2 pitch, poked it between first and second. 1 out base hit.
Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way. Everidge the other way. Markakis. Nick's got room on the warning track on that one. One of the best at-bats we've seen in a while, and it had an impact on this game. Sweeney in the 5th inning, 11 pitches against Guthrie. Sweeney came up, there were 2 down. Only 1 run had come in. So Jeremy Guthrie couldn't get him out.
And he made a lot of good pitches. I mean, you could see, somewhere in the middle of the plate. But good stuff, good command, and then he was able to fight him off. And then eventually he was able to work the walk, and then Mark Ellis, 3rd base hit of the night.
1-0 count. Sweeney 2 down, nobody on. Strike to it.
Take a look. I mean, you can just see the fastball. There's a changeup that runs high. Again,
that's 1 at bat.
Yep.
Gee. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and all it will show up, of course, is a walk, but it was enormously important. It wore Guthrie out. It got Ellis to the plate. It resulted in the 2 RBI single by the next hitter, and then Guthrie's out of the ball game and Hendrickson on. It just changed everything.
It really did, and again, it was a frustrating night for Jeremy because he gave up some soft hits early. The other guy's pitching one of his best games ever.
Yep. We had no wind. Now we've got all kinds of wind. It's blowing right, left, center, all over the place. 2 ball, 2-strike count.
And there's lightning in the area.
Foul ball. 2-2. Shattered the bat, gets the new one. I will say that rule, for one of those kinds of rules that generally don't get enforced in baseball, that the bat boy must have an extra bat for the hitter in his hand while that batter's up, has been enforced throughout the year, right on the line. 2-2. Up the middle, off the mound. Torres has it. Wind won't prevent the ball from getting there, but the hot dog wrappers are off and going. It's 7th inning stretch time, and it's brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. Perfect ball game.
You're right, and I think the one thing when we look at the A's, and again I talked to Bob Guerin, their manager, I said if you win tonight, you'll have won 13 out of the 26 games you played. This team that's 17 games back of the Angels coming in tonight. So they're playing very hard. They're getting great pitching. And again, they've had some great at-bats, not in the sense they've hit the ball in the ballpark, haven't been any home runs. They just hit the ball where it's pitched. I actually thought Jeremy Guthrie number one, he didn't throw any home runs tonight, kept the ball in the ballpark. They just had some outstanding at-bats and poked the ball, got a little bit lucky, and took advantage of a guy that wasn't really pitching that poorly tonight.
And for the Orioles tonight, bat-wise, they haven't had that many hits, and when they have had an opportunity, they've not been able, as has happened so often since the All-Star break, Jim, find that one hit that really gets you an inning going, gets an RBI, an extra base hit, starts around.
Yeah, only one time all night, and that was the third inning that they get back-to-back runners on. They had runners at second and third and one out. Adam Jones strikes out. Markakis bounces out, and they're out of a chance to maybe get on the board. Would have been 2-1 at the time. As it turns out, it's now 5-0 as the A's add some more runs later on.
All right, so both of these teams now do a little battle along with Mother Nature as well as one another. That's going to be a ground ball up the middle, and that is a base hit. Melvin Mora delivers the single. Now the Orioles have the leadoff man on. Mora's had a couple of singles in the ball game. He is 2 for 3. Wieters and Torres are coming up. And again, the problem for the O's right now is the extra base hit, only one, and that's Nick Markakis, who picked that up in the 6th inning and was stranded. Wow, Suzuki, that's a pretty good 360 move behind the plate right there, and so quick. Wasn't even a chance for Moore to think about going. I got it.
Yeah, hard breaking ball down and in. He just snags it. Of course, you're hoping that maybe Gonzalez gets ahead of himself in the sense that he'll start thinking about, okay, I'm in the late innings. He was relieved against the Rangers, pitched very well in his last start in the 7th inning. But again, I think one of the foremost things you have to do as a starting pitcher, take every batter one at a time. And if you start thinking about, how am I going to pitch in the 8th inning, hot night, even though it's gotten a lot cooler with the storm coming in. The bottom line is that's what you hope if you're the Orioles. So a lot of rain, going to be a totally different environment here in the 7th than it's been all night long.
Wieters swings and misses on that one. Trying to see the ball through the hot dog wrappers. Wieters has struck out and grounded out, only 1 for 9 against the A's on the season. Matt has moved up now among the top 10 in rookies. He is 5th in average among rookies in the American League now. 2-2 delivery on the way. Inside out that one to right center field. That is in the gap and way back. That's going to hit off the wall. Melvin Mora, big jump. He'll come around third. They're going to hold him. It'll be a double. Throw back and Mora gets back. So Wieters with a long double off the wall. 2 on and nobody out.
Yeah, no chance for any of the outfielders. Again, I mean, a booming shot. Inside out, right off the wall. Again, all the home runs. There is Melvin Mora. You're 5 runs down. Juan Samuel, third base coach, is going to put the brakes on. And right here, easy double. Stand-up variety for Matt Wieters. And again, they got a very good bullpen. There will be action in this bullpen. Third best earned run average. As Kurt Young, their pitching coach, will come out and have a little discussion with Gio Gonzalez.
Now you also have to factor in the rain. It's coming down. They don't want to make a pitching change right now if there's going to be a rain delay. Kurt Young just trying to draw a little time here and figure out what's going on. What's going on are thunderstorms. 2 on, nobody out. Grounds crew is pulling the tarp off, and Tim McClellan says bring it out.
Yeah, nobody's still throwing in the bullpen because they had to get the tarp off because of the impending rain.
So thunderstorms are going to delay this ball game, and for a grounds crew, this is a very tough situation because not only is the rain coming fast and furious, but the wind is whipping from left to right, and trying to get that tarp out there with that wind blowing the way it is no easy task. So we've got a rain delay, a 5-0 lead in the 7th inning with 2 on for the Orioles and nobody out, and the A's on top in the ball game, and grounds crew will try and keep that from becoming a parachute. We'll be right back. The starter who had pitched so well will leave. He'll be responsible for the 2 base runners on here as the Orioles had 2 on, nobody out in the 7th inning prior to the rain delay. And now we'll get to work against this left-hander.
Yeah, he leads the American League in appearances. This will be his 57th. Kind of an interesting story. He got claimed on waivers from Minnesota. Last year claimed from the Red Sox by Cleveland on waivers, and then the Twins picked him up on waivers during the year. Pitched very well. A little bit of a struggle lately. First batters 9 for the last 22. He, of course, will come in with runners at second and third, nobody out, with a 5-run lead. And this bullpen collectively, one of the best in the American League, 3rd in ERA. So they've been very, very good, especially when you get to Andrew Bailey, who represented them in the All-Star game to end it. He's 10 for his last 10 in save opportunities.
The A's jumped out to the lead in the 2nd inning on singles by Ellis and Pennington, getting a couple of runs, 4 hits off Guthrie and then knocked Guthrie out of the ball game in the 5th. Suzuki had an RBI single and a big 2-out RBI bases loaded single by Ellis. Ellis is 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs in the ball game. The Orioles' best scoring chance is coming up right here in the 7th inning. Tampa Bay with the American League leadership in the ERA bullpen in Boston, Oakland, Toronto, and Texas. So the Orioles, it will not get any easier after Gio Gonzalez worked 6+ innings in the ball game with a walk and 5 strikeouts. And we'll see how many runs he actually is going to be responsible for. Right now there are none, but there are 2 base runners on who are his responsibility.
So if the first batters are 9 for 22, but there's also a couple of home runs in there. Cesar Astros, who will come up to hit both of his home runs from this side of the plate, and there's 6 walks thrown in. And at this point in the game, 7th inning, what the Orioles need are base runners. They need to do what Oakland did in 2 innings tonight, which is maybe not home runs. They only have 1 extra base hit through their 12 hits for the A's, but they've been able to string hits together. Need to do, at least the Orioles need to do that here in the 7th.
You saw 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Moore is on at third. He had a single. Wieters at second with a double. Here's his Torres. Breslow's pitch, strike called, and we have worked through the rain delay. As Torres had a single in the 3rd inning and is flied out to center field. As Torres only 1 at bat against Breslow, the 29-year-old left-hander who just turned 29, and he wants the signs again from Suzuki, who is doing the catching. 6+ innings, 7 hits off Gio Gonzalez, who is looking for his 4th win of the year, and he pitched very well. The 0-1 delivery as Torres fights it off. He had a delay of 52 minutes in the ball game. And it really did rain. It's amazing how quickly that storm went through, as powerful as it was.
Well, the new ballparks have great drainage systems. You know, pipes running underneath. They can pump water and extract it from the field. And
0-2 delivery pushed in the air to right field. Tagging up will be Mora. Taking it is Sweeney, and the runner's got to stay. Perfect throw to the plate on 1 hop. So is Torres out of there. And there's 1 away in the 7th inning.
As we mentioned, 57 appearances now for Craig Breslow, and he comes out of Yale. Kind of interesting numbers of molecular biophysics. You talked about the intensity of that storm. Maybe he could explain it.
The scary part is that he probably could with the molecular biophysics and biochemistry double major that he took at Yale. Excuse me. Didn't mean to bother you. Perhaps you could just do this equation for me. 1 down. Here's Brian Roberts. He and Ron Darling, the last 2 to come out of Yale to play Major League ball. And there's a hit to center. No. Caught. Mora was not on the bag. He's not coming again. So Roberts on a hard shot to straightaway center field to Davis. Melvin Mora was down the line a couple of steps instead of staying in the bag. Why? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to score anyway, but you could see, well, you can't really see out of that angle right here. There we go. There we go, and it just comes down. Now you're supposed to go right back to the bag, but he gets tricked a little bit.
How can you be tricked? If the ball falls in, you score. If it's caught, you tag up and either come or don't come. I mean, that's just bad baseball. And I agree with you. He probably wouldn't have been able to get in, but
he just didn't execute it. That doesn't matter how long you played the game. It's not always instinctual, is it?
Here's Nolan Reimold coming up. I mean, as soon as the ball's hit, you go back to the bag.
Yep. Well, that's what you're taught.
If it falls in, you score, and if it doesn't, you got a chance on the tag up.
You're only going to score 1 run anyway.
I'll tell you one thing: the baseball gods didn't like that play. You can hear them upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strikeout, 2 down.
So the Orioles now 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position, and it's up to Nolan Reimold.
First 2 on here before the rain delay, and now there are still 2 on and 2 down. Reimold a single, 1 for 3. That is in there for a strike from Breslow, and the count goes to 1-2. Teams continue to throw lefty starters, lefty bullpens. Teams are throwing as many lefties as they can against the Orioles this year. The Orioles are 19-23 against left-handed starters, hit about 15 points lower against lefties than against right-handers. Reimold will take the pitch high and inside. Clay Meredith in the pen for the O's. Hendrickson, if Mark comes out, he did a good job. He worked 2 1/3 innings, giving up only 1 hit and got a strikeout. So he held them tight after Guthrie charged with 5 on 11 hits and 4 2/3. Reimold right back to the mound. Wow. Breslow, what a job. Coming on after the rain delay with 2 in scoring position and nobody out. 2 fly balls and a comebacker. 7 complete. Brian's Baseball Bash for the University of Maryland Hospital for Children. Brian, teammates, they'll be signing autographs, meeting with fans, and raising money for patients and their families. To order tickets and show your support, 410-328-6064, or you can go to ummsfoundation.org. That's this Sunday, the ESPN Zone, Inner Harbor.
Yep, 6 to 9.
Clay Meredith out of the bullpen. He's become a workhorse since joining the Orioles.
Came in, his last time was against Toronto, and he was sinker baller, big swerving slider. There's a sinker, and of course when he's pitching well, you're going to see a lot of ground balls.
Ellis has had a big night. 3 RBIs, 3 hits, 3 for 3. Mark Ellis leading it off here. He's hit safely now in 13 of the last 14 games that he has played in, with an average approaching, wow, 350. I mean, there's some serious thunder and lightning going on. So hitters come up there swinging. Let's go. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Thank you. And an 0-2 count on Ellis. Meredith, the left-handers, 235. The right-handers, 231 off Clay Meredith. And Ellis swings and fouled it off. Just barely got that one on the end of the bat. So a 5-0 lead for the A's. They've out-hit the Orioles 12-7. Each team with 8 left on base in the game. Meredith gets it in there, and Roberts charging, knocks it down, makes the throw, won't be in time. And a 4-for-4 ball game for Ellis. That one on an infield hit leading off the 8th inning.
Yeah, tremendous effort by Brian Roberts. He gets to it, then slides a couple of feet, snap throw, and again, because the ball's away, Ellis gets out of the box real well. So you can see the range of Brian Roberts. Of course, everything wet. Of course, at Old Memorial Stadium, he would have gone into a puddle. That's where they used to empty the tarp, but it didn't rain. No, it wouldn't be. It'd be kind of a couple of lakes out between behind second and short.
Second 4-hit ball game of the season for Ellis. And Cliff Pennington, the switch hitter batting ninth, has an RBI base hit. He is flied out and struck out. Everybody in the lineup for the A's has at least one hit. They have 13 in the game. And that is fouled off by Pennington. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Pennington hitting at .289, a home run and 5 RBIs on the season for him. Oakland has just come out here and just every inning caused some kind of damage on the base paths with somebody getting on base. The only 1-2-3 inning came in the I take it back. In the 7th inning before we had the rain delay. Mark Hendrickson did get a 1-2-3 inning, and that's the only one. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and a ground ball to short is Torres. Double play.
Yeah, tailor-made because of a nice decision by Caesar. If you make the transfer to Brian Roberts, he's got to come towards second. And you can see right there, Caesar just says, you know what, I can get there quickly enough. My momentum's going towards the first base bag. This is the way, especially with a left-handed batter with some speed. And you can see Pennington not assuming it's going to be a double play. So a nice play by the shortstop for the O's.
Sometimes the toughest flip to be made is the short one like that. It either goes too hard or too soft. It's just not the natural play to be made, flipping the ball that short a distance.
And you also have to know where your second baseman's playing if you're the shortstop. And with Brian playing pretty much straight away, long way to get over to cover the bag. You know you're going to get 1, but you probably won't get 2.
Here is Adam Kennedy, the 33-year-old. Takes the ball in the air to left field, and that will be caught by Reimold. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Bottom half of the 8th inning, 5-0 A's.
With the back, great catch right there. You talked about how difficult he made it. Almost caught a fly ball on the way to the ground, not underneath it, on the way down. But a terrific play. It's early in the game, but it gets them an out, and now they only need 6 to maintain this lead, with Adam Jones leading it off here in the bottom of the 8th.
The Orioles now have not scored in the last 16 innings against Oakland. They were shut out in the 3rd game of the series in Oakland, and they've been shut out here. And a great off-speed delivery. Breslow with the changeup. Jones has had an 0 for 3. Fielder's choice struck out and grounded out. Adam coming in 8th in runs scored in the American League. He has a 4-game hit streak. fastball, and there's your take a little off, put a lot on, and the hitter's timing falls to ashes. 0-2.
Yeah, Breslow had 89 to 91, but boy, the magical act to get out of the seventh inning, coming in with runners at second and third after the rain delay and getting out of the inning unscathed.
Jones hitting at 296, a ground ball towards the hole, backhanded. Pennington, here's that arm. One away in the eighth inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer, Amber Theo Harris with you. Ziegler up in the bullpen getting ready to go to work here, as Gonzalez gave them the 6+ strong innings, no runs, 7 hits, so it'll keep that bullpen pretty much in order if the Orioles can't mount a rally. Here is Nick Markakis. Right now, with the 8 consecutive wins the A's have against the Orioles, they get a victory tonight, they'll tie the longest active winning streak against an opponent in the majors. The Dodgers have beaten the Reds 9 times in a row, and that's the longest current streak. 1-0 delivery taken for a strike by Markakis, and it goes to 1-1. Nick has had a double, 1 for 3 in the ball game, extending his reaching base consecutive game number to 31. He has popped out and grounded out. Breslow's pitch is in there for a strike, 1 and 2. Orioles in the third inning had the first 2 on, got him to scoring position, could not score. Same thing happened in the 7th. 1-2 delivery, lifted in the air towards center, going back. Rajai Davis, he's got it.
Well, there's your answer about whether the ball was carrying. Now, probably an hour and a half ago, before the rainstorm, that ball might have carried out of here a lot warmer, but it cooled off with the rain. Looked like he hit that ball pretty well, and Davis has been everywhere tonight and runs it down. High energy ball club. I mean, again, 17 games behind the Anaheim Angels, and they're playing like they're vying for first place.
Got some young players who are trying to make an impression. Some older players like Kennedy who want to stay and be a regular. Ty Wigginton takes the pitch for a strike. You look at the A's, their season high as far as their record was game 3. They were 2-1. That's the best they've been above 500. That was in the 3rd game of the season, as they come into this game 49-62. And for Bob Guerin, it's about something to build on for this ball club, as they are literally in the transformation process yet again. We started this game, it was 93 degrees. It's now 76.
Comfortable.
That one in the air, but off the end of the bat. That fooled the left fielder. Hairston will come on, though, and make the catch. So 1-2-3 inning. Breslow has retired all 6 batters faced, and it remains a 5-0 lead for the A's. Book your next trip at southwest.com. We go to the ninth inning here at Camden Yards. The A's have really just kind of cruised through this game as though this whole thing was relatively easy.
Yeah, they're all A's tonight, aren't they? No B's or C's or average stuff.
And they jumped out on top in that second inning and just kept on going, and the way that Gonzalez was pitching. Swung on a miss by Davis, their number 2 hitter. He's got a 6-game hit streak, extended it with a single. He has scored a run, 1 for 4.
Well, just think what you do for a young pitcher like Gio Gonzalez, who's been pitching well. If he wins tonight, it'll be 4-0 in his last 4 decisions. But you give him an early 2-run lead. I mean, it's not the end of the night. But again, I always felt if you get me 2 early runs, I got to give up 3. And if you're pitching well and you're playing well, and we see a very good defense and enough offense tonight, it's sometimes tough to give up 3 runs. And the Orioles, as we have known over the last week or so, trouble scoring early. Doesn't mean they can't score late, and that's what they're going to have to do tonight.
Davis made a fine play out there in center field. Since the All-Star break, hitting at .361. And trying to get his second hit in this ball game. Everybody's had a hit for the A's in the lineup, led by Ellis with a 4-hit ball game, tying his career high. Jandy almost got him. He was leaning. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count from Clay Meredith.
What he brings to you, and play a little dodgeball. We saw it early on. Jeremy Guthrie almost got him in the rib cage, and then threw him a great slider down and away. Hit a little roller. Weeders pounced on right in front of home plate. But if you can play center field and you can get on base and you can steal bases and you can hit, as you mentioned, over .350, you're going to play. Everybody says, well, we're going to wait for him to cool off. Well, maybe he won't. Yeah. And now he walks.
So he is on with a leadoff walk here in the ninth inning. Only the second walk surrendered by Oriole pitchers. This Sunday, the Orioles are offering a special promotion your kids won't want to miss. The first 10,000 fans at Sunday's game against the Angels, 135, they're going to receive a limited edition Webkin's Oriole Bird. It is the stuffed toy you look at there. So we hope you'll gather up the family and spend some time. Tickets start as low as $9. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com.
That was your favorite animal last year, wasn't it? I think you.
Yes. Yeah. I took 2 of those home. Webkins.
Planning ahead, aren't you?
Then you got to sign up online in order to get family attachments and all that good stuff.
You had a big kick out of that last summer, if I recall.
I did.
You did register, did you? No?
Silence is deafening. Here's the 0-1 delivery on the way. Swung on and missed. Meredith working with a leadoff man on. Hairston's picked up a single. He got it in his first at bat, 1 for 4. Say's team has won 5 out of their last 7 ball games, while the Orioles have flipped that. They are 2-5 in their last 7. Out hit tonight, 13-7 so far. The O's will get a shot at it in the ninth inning and want to keep it right here. And Davis is a threat to go in this situation. And there he goes. Here's Weeder's throw down, and the tag not made, and a stolen base picked up by Davis.
Yeah, Matt's going to really come out very aggressively. And there's your big jump. And again, told you about now 10 steals, and he stops and still makes it because the throw's high. So again, right there, very quick release, but just a little bit high. So no chance. If it's down around the ankles, probably going to have a very close play, maybe out.
21 stolen bases on the season now for Davis.
And that is the only thing you can do if you're a catcher, is make a good throw. Because if they get a big jump, Earl Weaver used to talk about it, if you start rushing, you usually don't execute the way you want to. Make the throw. If he beats it, fine. But at least you know you made a good throw.
Jack Cust is going to draw the intentional pass with Hairston retired. And first base open after the stolen base. So Meredith delivers ball 4, and Cust will go down first and second, setting up a possible double play. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. The candidates tonight: the starter Gonzalez, the rookie, no runs, 7 hits over 6. Ellis, a 4 for 4 game, 3 RBIs, and Sweeney, good defensive play and a double and a run scored. Text in your vote A, B, or C to 518-62. Kurt Suzuki from Hawaii. He has picked up a single and an RBI, 1 for 4. Otherwise, 3 fly balls to center field. That's the slider on the outside corner for a strike.
Yeah, grew up in Maui and had a full ride to the University of Hawaii. Said, I want to go to Cal State Fullerton, maybe a better brand of baseball, play against the best. Got a bunch of money, and he's playing for the A's. Every day, it seems like.
0-1 delivery will go off the glove of his Turris. A run will score. Coming over to third base is Cust. Going into second base, Suzuki. Probably a double and an RBI. It is, and it is a 6-0 lead for the A's.
Yeah, I think Caesar thinks he's going to catch this ball. Otherwise, he would have knocked it down off the heel of his glove. And once it does, it slows down. Wet outfield. And Suzuki runs extremely well for a catcher. There you go, 28 doubles. Yeah,
2-hit ball game and a 2 RBI game.
And every time he swung at the first pitch tonight.
Yep. Suzuki, that's 53 RBIs on the season for him. And the infield's going to have to move in. Only 1 down here in the 9th inning. Everidge up, he is single, 1 for 4. He gets the advantage of the Orioles defense trying to prevent any further runs from being scored. Boy, the A's have really had a season so far in 4 games against the Orioles. With the 6 runs they've put up here, they've outscored the Orioles 27-5 in the 4 games. The Orioles ERA is going to be close to 8, and the ERA of the pitching staff against the Orioles for Oakland is going to be about 1.5. 0-2 count. Everidge hitting at 269. And he couldn't hold up on that one. 2 down.
Yeah, not a lot of that. Again, we told you he hit 382 at AAA Sacramento. I don't get to see too many Submariners with that big sidewinding breaking ball, and you can see he just kind of waves at it. Nice pitch by Clay Meredith.
Now Ryan Sweeney will look for the 2-out RBI. Sweeney, 24-year-old.
And you might walk him down by 6, but Ellis on base already on deck has 4 base hits.
Sweeney, there's Ellis with a 4 for 4 day. Sweeney played with the White Sox before coming over to Oakland. 1-0 delivery on the way. Again, that pitch is going to be in there for a strike. Sweeney, a 274 major league hitter, starting the season. And right around there, 269 mark right now. The delivery to him is outside from Clay Meredith. All but trying to close the barn door. Jeff Gray's in the bullpen, as it will not be a save situation. Here's the 2-1 delivery, and that's outside by Meredith. 3-ball, 1 strike count on Sweeney. Pitching Sweeney away so long as you don't get too close. He loves that opposite field hit. That one's going to be to right center field. Jones is going to have to chase this all the way to the wall. Cust will score. Suzuki will score. It is another double. And it is an 8-0 lead and the 15th hit of the ball game for the A's.
Yeah, you got the feeling that maybe Clay Meredith wanted to pitch around him, but does not make a good pitch, and a hitter's count at 3-1. And Sweeney's second double of the night, hit a breaking ball down the right field line early on in the game. You can see just looking outside middle, and that's exactly where he gets it. And he strafes one up to gap.
So Sweeney, 2-hit ball game, 2 RBI ball game. Boy, this is when these are the kind of ball games, and there have been far too many of them for the O's, where the staff ERA takes a big hit. That is up to Ellis, who's trying for a 5-hit game. He's never had one in his career. The 4 for 4, 3 RBIs. Runner in scoring position. Takes the ball in the air to center, hit it hard. Jones going back, way back, and can't get it. A 5 for 5 game. The 4th RBI of the game, and Ellis is on at second base with a double.
Again, pretty much right down the middle. Talked about early on, and Right here trying to get a bead on it, and then the wind blowing, the storm came through, ball slices away, doesn't come up with it.
35 RBIs on the season, with 4 of them coming right here. Rick Kranitz, a very quick trip to see Meredith. Orioles will not want to go to the bullpen unless they have to here. There are 2 down, and Cliff Pennington coming up. So 3 RBIs in the inning have come with 2 away. That's 9 runs on 16 hits in the ball game. And Pennington will take it for a strike. He's the 8th batter to hit in the inning. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI. The 0-1 pitch, and that's outside for a ball. Toronto's beaten the Yankees 5-4 in their ball game. The Red Sox have a lead going into the 9th in their game as they take on Toronto, trying to get out of a 6-game losing streak. Chopper towards short as Turris, the big hop, bends it over to get the out. But a big top of the 9th inning is 4-run score, and the A's now have a 9-0 lead.
Jeremy Guthrie, another rough outing.
Well, we're coming back with those extra postgame, but first, the bottom of the 9th. Back to Gary and Jim.
Jim, thanks very much. And there's your line. 9-16-0 for the A's. The Orioles, will they be shut out again? As coming on to try and wrap it up is Jeff Gray, only his 6th game, as he has gone back and forth between the minors and the big club.
Yeah, down in Sacramento, 17 save opportunities, successful 16 of those times. And in the big leagues, he's faced 12 batters, retired at 11 of them. So out of Southwest Missouri State, there was Aaron Cunningham. Bob Guerin is saying that, and then Bobby Crosby, he'll come over and play first base. So I wouldn't say they're defensive, even though they're pretty good defensive players. Cunningham, 3-4 tool player, and then Crosby, of course, former rookie shortstop, American League rookie shortstop of the year.
So Jeff Gray will work here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Luke Scott will lead it off. He's had an 0 for 3 and 2 strikeouts. Then Mora and Wieters. As Jeff Gray came up last Thursday for the 4th time to pitch with the A's. He had been a closer. He is a closer, AAA level. Luke Scott, first ball hitting, center field. Davis back, warning track, wall, and goodbye, home run. There will be no shutout. Scott delivers a homer, and the Orioles get on the board 9-1.
Well, it all starts with getting a good pitch to hit. Gio Gonzalez didn't give the Orioles hitters a whole lot of those to work with tonight. But right here, you'll see good fastball hitter up and away. Now, it's funny. Luke Scott said hitting is so much feel. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I see the ball, and when I'm seeing the ball, well, I hit it. Well, he must have seen that one pretty well. Sailed out of here. The Orioles' first run of the evening.
19 home runs on the season for Luke Scott, and maybe, even though it probably comes too little too late in this game, maybe the one that will get him started again at the plate. Melvin Moore takes a strike.
That's a good point, because even if you're down by 9, it's still an at bat, and you want to make it a quality at bat, and he got the bonus.
1 ball, 1 strike count. And that's going to be a base hit off Gray. Melvin Moore has got a 3-hit ball game, 3 singles. Checking on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here's the way the numbers are so far, with Gonzalez, the starting pitcher, on top. You can still text in your vote, A, B, or C, 51862. Results on the O's Extra Postgame Show.
And we are seeing that when Jeff Gray hangs around the middle of the plate at 95 miles per hour, it doesn't fool a whole lot of people. He better either start tricking him. I know he's got a huge lead to work with.
Wieters a double, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Inside for a ball. Luke Scott had not had a home run since July 11. So a month between homers for Luke. You'll be happy to have that number stopped. 1-0 delivery on the way. Wieters with a big cut and a 1 ball 1 strike count from Gray. Gray spent last year pitching at AAA Sacramento. Here's the 1-1 delivery. That one a little roller. The only play is going to be over at first. Running throw made by Kennedy to Crosby to get the out. Moore will go down to second base, and there's one away. 2 Oriole pitchers out in the community this week meeting with fans. You can spend your lunch hour with Brad Bergeson at the ESPN Zone, Inner Harbor, from noon until 1 tomorrow. Then on Friday, Brian Bass will be at Wendy's on Lakeside Boulevard in Owings Mills from 11 to 1. For details, Orioles Reach, 888-848-BIRD or OriolesReach.com. So that's tomorrow. Brad Bergeson, ESPN Zone, noon to 1. There's Brad. Moore down at second base. Is Torres. 1. And this ball game is in the books. A double play on the line drive off the bat is Torres.